In this video, we're going to listen to the communications between Lewis Hamilton and his race engineer Bono from the start of the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix up until when he pits. And let's assess the authenticity of it. Remember, my previous videos demonstrated there was absolutely no need for Hamilton to pit immediately the lap after Verstappen pitted. They threw away every advantage. So why did they do it? Let's have a listen to what goes on.
Gap at 0.4 behind.
What you should have seen there is Hamilton ahead at the braking zone. Verstappen wouldn't have been in the position. Sent it in there anyway. There was no place for Hamilton to remain on track, so he's taken evasive action and then he's rejoined the track in a smooth manner, okay, due to the layout of the track being what it was. What you heard from his race engineer was that he was 4/10 ahead as he was going up that straight. Now, he would have gained a few more tenths of that second, but by not even halfway around that lap, he would pulled a gap of 4/10. By the end of the lap, he's 1.1 seconds ahead. So it's likely that he could have gained some more tenths naturally that lap, this first lap anyway. And it's likely that by being forced off the track, cutting the corner out of necessity, he probably gained maybe 3 to 4 tenths, maybe up to half a second. But ultimately, that is not him trying to cheat to do that. That is an impact of taking the evasive action and then not doing something that's going to then disadvantage you to allow the other guy to benefit from the infringement they've just committed against you. Anyway, we'll carry on.
So let's just
push me off track.
yeah, copy. We're happy with the gap that you've reinstated.
So let's just, and then it goes blank, right? He pushed me off track. So this is as he is completing lap 1. Now you can compare that to when F1 TV play you that message on the previous video. So this is where Lewis is.
Push me off track.
Okay, so he would have been coming round about turn 15, I believe, when he said that, and we'll compare it with when that was played to the world. There's the pit entrance on the right hand side there. Remember, there's about a 4-second lag between Hamilton actually saying this and it being overlaid on here. They do so that if there's any swearing, they beat them out.
Yeah, copy. We're happy with the gap that you've reinstated.
So that's lap 1 completed. He's about 1.1 seconds ahead now.
Snapping out to 1.4. If you can get HPP 3, position 2. 3, position 2.
And look at the line that Hamilton takes through there. This is the standard line that the cars will take through that corner. Watch as you go through turn 6.
Position 2. 3, position 2.
Start off wide. Cut across to the curbing on the inside. But because it's a chicane, so therefore you've then got to set up for the next corner, which is a right-hander. You don't end up all the way across here, which is what Verstappen did to close Hamilton out of space. You actually set it up so you're actually in the middle of the track. See? You're setting yourself up so you're relatively wide on entrance to the second part of the chicane. Not Verstappen, he goes all the way across here to the curbing, leaving no room on the outside for his opponent. Standard manoeuvre from Verstappen. Push the other car off track as his way of getting through. And Hamilton would have joined the track, well, it's to the right of where we can see at the moment. Because clearly the barriers are there now, so he's joined the track before then.
Gap at 1.4.
Are we okay here, man?
A firm.
So we're on the third lap now.
So DRS has been enabled, gap at 1.5.
Okay, one of the questions I was asking in the last video was, or the one before that, about DRS. What lap does DRS get enabled? And Brundle is saying, Max had to do that lunge. No, so he wasn't going to wait for a couple of laps to track Lewis down, get in his DRS, and then have the advantage of DRS to perform the overtake. No. Again, as we go through turn 6 at the end of this straight, look at the line Hamilton takes.
And there's no investigation necessary for the lap 1. And surface temps management is good.
Thermal temp management is good. We'll come back to that. Lap 4.
And gap at 1.9. Only losses are areas of management. And you look strong, 12, 13.
on lap 5.
And that gap at 2.1, Verstappen at 29.0.
Okay, now on lap 6.
And gap at 2.1, Verstappen at 28.7.
Oh, the irony. I've just had to pause this video because I've got an incoming phone call from a number I didn't recognise. So I thought, what's going on there? And it's a one of these fraudulent phone calls whereby they are trying to claim that a payment is being taken from a credit card of mine and I've got to key in some details. Fraud is everywhere, everybody. Just beware. Anyway, we'll carry on.
And if you can just update us on your tag mode.
Okay, I think we're on lap 7. Let's just double check.
Focused on the race and
Yeah, he's now on lap 7. They're still bitching about lap 1. Still bitching about lap 1. Still keeping the fanboy incited. He's got to give that place back. He's got to give that place back. 8 laps they spend doing that.
And you can go menu dash position 2. So Verstappen at 2.2, last lap 28.7. Only losses are areas of management and straight line.
Only loss is a straight line, so Verstappen's got a faster car in a straight line. So these race engineers, they're able to analyse where Lewis Hamilton is fast around that lap and compare that with where Max Verstappen is fast around that lap, and compare the areas of the track where one car is outperforming the other car. Yeah? That's what they have at their disposal, the ability to be able to do that with that data that they can get, that they can access. Funny, isn't it? Funny then the decisions that they can then make. Lap 8.
Gap to Verstappen at 2.5. Last lap was a 28.6. You can update us with your tag level. Okay, now on lap 9. And that gap at 2.6. The last lap was a 28.8. We'll probably just use a little bit more pace, just a couple of tenths.
So Hamilton is pretty much managing this at the moment, isn't he? He's in the lead, but they are still managing his pace, you know, to make sure that these tyres, these medium compound tyres, are fit for purpose and last. And you'll hear the engine note as it comes through turn 14. You slow down for it, and then you build the throttle out of the corner. You don't just dump it like, oh no, Nicholas Latifi has crashed. You don't just do that, because that way the back end of your car will step out and smash the barrier, Nicholas. And I believe it's lap 10. Let's just double check.
The head of a train.
Yeah, just got onto lap 10, as you can see in the bottom there, just starting his lap 10. All right, so just so you know where we are, back to Hamilton.
Times the time, that's that was 3.086 off that 28.6.
No idea what he said there. 28.6 was Verstappen's time, is what he said, but I didn't pick up on what else he said.
And turn 2-3 management similar to Verstappen. These are great laps, Lewis. Just keep it up. Just keep the pressure on. So gap at 3.9. The last lap was 28.9. And if you go menu dash position 6 when you can, dash 6. Great stuff, Lewis. You managed to break the toe.
You've managed to break the toe. So what's the distance? He's now saying you've managed to break the toe.
Yeah.
So to break the toe, you've got to be over 4 seconds ahead, because the interval's 4.4 seconds. That's according now to Bono, Hamilton's race engineer. In that era of design of car, you had to be over 4.4, well, over 4 seconds ahead of them in order to break the toe. Strange, isn't it? Hamilton sector 1 on the previous lap, still fastest. Now on lap 12. Set in purple, lap 12. Are these tyres falling off a cliff?
So that gap at 4.9, Verstappen at 29.1. H59, position 11. 9, position 11, when you can.
Looks like it's just changed camera angle there from one above the car to one slightly to the side. I've done no trickery from me. Let's just watch that again. See, that's just what it does on F1 TV, okay? let's just go to data view.
Tonight.
So, 5.1 seconds. Lewis Hamilton's now on lap 13. Verstappen will pit at the end of this lap, I believe.
And get behind 5.7, Verstappen 29.3. This is great work, Lewis, just keep it up. Verstappen in the pit lane now. And it goes strap mode 4, strap mode 4. And just give us a balance check, balance check.
Balance is good. Tyres are still okay.
Balance is good. Tyres are still good. Look at the tyres. Do they look like they're graining? Do they look like there's a problem? Have you seen Lewis Hamilton sliding around on those tyres? This is the first time you've heard Lewis Hamilton speak since the end of lap 1. Listen to this again.
And just give us a balance check, balance check.
Balance is good. Tyres are still okay.
Okay, copy.
Tyres are still okay.
Next tyre, I'll probably take out, potentially take out a hole maybe.
Let's try and see what he said there.
Next tyre, I'll probably take out, potentially take out a hole maybe.
Copy that.
Next tyre takeout. I didn't get that. Some of you may well have got that, but I'm not getting that. Let's try and listen again.
Next tyre, I'll probably take out, potentially take out a hole maybe.
Next tyre takeout, potentially take out, and I missed. I don't know. Don't know. Anyway, we'll carry on.
Copy that. Okay, Lewis, so box.
Box. Just told you the tyres are good. He just told you the tyres are good as we were coming down towards turn 6 and we're boxing. Why? Let's try and get this message here.
Next tyre, I'll probably take out, potentially take out a hole maybe.
Copy that. Okay, Lewis, so box. And it'll be a shallow drop at the stop, shallow drop. and traffic with sights behind on exit. So you're all clear.
Isn't it awful for Lewis getting them tyres up to racing speed, sliding around everywhere, you know, because that's how it is, isn't it? Getting them temperatures up to speed. Now, what we've had what constitutes evil, okay, which is, I don't want to swear because I know it offends some people, but there's no words to describe, well, the appropriate words for these people. Only swear words are actually anywhere near what they really are. They come to the comments section to try to subvert people's understanding. And there will be a consequence, because if I ever track you down, I'll make sure there's a consequence for these people. And they say things like, oh, the tyres had become above 125 degrees C and they were experiencing thermal runaway. And you see, some people will be convinced by that. Some people will know no different. Some people will think, oh, wow, yeah, that could have been why Mercedes changed. So some people come to the comment section to project absolute lies, to disinform people, to harm people's understanding of a situation. Absolute evil.
So gap to Verstappen at 5.2. We'll try and maintain that gap. Just bring this set in nice and steady. And we just have Perez ahead, 11 seconds. He is inside our safety car window.
How much is he in?
You're safe by at least 3 seconds.
Perez is inside our safety car window. Why have you just pitted? What have you just pitted? You were 9-10 seconds ahead of Perez. Now, had there have been a safety car, you'd have been the first car into the pits, probably. You'd have certainly got into the pits before catching the safety car. You'd have had the opportunity to. Perez was never in play.
And gap to Verstappen at 5.3. Just remember, need to maintain that. Verstappen was a 28.5 last lap.
Right. Now, if it was me, and I wasn't just part of a show, then I'd be looking at the situation. I'd know that I'd started on the medium compounder tyre. I'd know that my main opponent was on the soft compounder tyre. I would know that my medium compounder tyre was capable of probably doing 10 more laps than the soft compounder tyre. I would know how it was feeling on my tyres and whether I was capable of doing more laps to get the benefit out of that extra longevity before changing tyres. During those extra laps, there's always a potential of some sort of incident occurring whereby you can get a cheaper pit stop and getting the benefit of that, whether it be under virtual safety car or under yellow flag conditions. If it's under safety car conditions, well, the gap that is built up gets wiped out anyway, but at least you get to go in and out of the pits when he's having to travel slower, so that if there is a problem with your pit stop, such as some sort of delay or other, then there's a much greater chance of you still getting out without him getting past if he's having to travel to a delta. So you've told your race engineer that the tyres are good, and then he's inviting you into the pits. So he's telling you to come into the pits later on around that lap. Now, if I wasn't part of the show, I'd say, why? I'd say, why? I'm fine, I'm good. I can keep going on this. I'll let you know when I'm feeling the grip dropping off, and you let me know if the lap times are significantly dropping. He's probably got notification on his steering wheel screen as to what lap time he's doing. So Hamilton's probably well aware of the lap times that he's doing. He's the foremost expert of how it is feeling within that car. So he knows whether the grip on his tyres is now affecting his performance. He wasn't complaining about that. The data backs up that he wasn't slowing down. Them tyres weren't dropping off. And yet his race engineer pulls him into the pits with life left in those tyres, putting him behind another Red Bull car, bringing into the notion of, oh, safety car window. He's not in our safety car window. He is in our safety car. Well, there's nothing to do with safety car window when he's 9 seconds behind you. What are you going to do? Oh, he hasn't pitted yet in this race, and he doesn't pit under safety car to keep in the lead. It doesn't matter. He's still got to pit. As he's still got to change them tyres at some point. He's not in the equation. Don't let him be in the equation. Now, you could look at it two ways. You could look at it that Hamilton is just playing his role. You could look at it that he's just got blind trust in Bono. Well, ultimately, it is what it is. Some of you won't like me saying him playing a role. You won't like it. But if you're an authentic sportsman, and Hamilton's not thick, Hamilton isn't thick. If you're an authentic sportsman playing an authentic sport, you're going to be mindful of the decisions that are being made that are impacting your chances. Hamilton's reaction would indicate to me the notion of being party to strategic calls which maintain fan engagement in this event. Was it, if they were authentic strategic calls, you would be looking to maximize your advantage and stay on their medium tyres for another 5-10 laps, whatever you could manage out of them until performance started dropping off. Eke that advantage out for as long as possible. As long as Verstappen wasn't eroding that advantage at a big rate, that's what you carry on doing. You carry on lapping. You're doing 128.5s and below. Verstappen came out on them hard compound tyres and he was only just managing 128.5s and was often slower. You never even gave that the chance to even understand what lap times Verstappen was doing. How many more laps could Lewis have carried on doing 1:28.5s or below, which are faster laps than the 1:28.5 that Verstappen did on the hards? So Hamilton could have gained even more of an advantage before stopping. And during that time, make sure he was well clear of Perez, making sure that Perez on them soft compounder tyres, which should have been wearing out, he'd have to pit to get off of those and change, meaning that when Hamilton did pit, there was absolutely no risk of him coming out behind Perez. Where were the complaints from Hamilton about his tyre performance dropping off? Where was the evidence on those tyres that those tyres were suffering from degradation, from blistering, from scrubbing? Where was the evidence from the in-car views that we can see of that car becoming difficult to drive due to the grip on the tyres deteriorating? Well, there's nothing, is there? So why would you pit just one lap behind Verstappen after Verstappen did, when you could have gone on for another 10? Well, the simplicity is the entire event was scripted. It was manufactured so that throughout there would always be the jeopardy. There would always be the tight battle one way or another. What's going to happen now? This could happen, that could happen. They're still close enough to happen. Oh, stay watching to the global audience, who is now a new audience, because we've told the world that this amazing sport of Formula One, well, the World Championship this year, both drivers are level on points going into the last Grand Prix of the season. So come along and watch this, everybody. There aren't many other sports to watch because we're just emerging from COVID. So come and have a watch of this. So everybody watches. Let's have a look. Oh, this is exciting. It's not one of these events where somebody just takes the lead and then just stays in the lead all the way to the finish. No, this is the sort of sport where something's happening all the time. You can't take your eyes off of it because it's so exciting. There's always a different thing happening. It could be the tyres, it could be the clean air, it could be the dirty air, it could be the virtual safety car, it could be the safety car. Nobody knows. Oh, it's such an exciting sport, kiddies. It's a construct, and they all got richer out of it. They all got richer out of it. If it was authentic, you would not do what you saw taking place here. Anyway, that'll do on this video. Thank you all for your time.